coming home was definitely what the Phillies needed. Nothing is more fun than being in the cozy confines of your own surroundings. A surplus of slams, smiles, and success paints the picture of the first week. And now they're knocking on the door of a series sweep to close out the homestand. Well, it's been nice for Gabe Kapler to settle in here at Citizens Bank Park before the ball game. The pitchers were working on their bunting, but also working on their hitting. And Scott Kingery all smiles as he threw with his teammates. Yeah, he's in the lineup with Carlos Santana tonight. Alfaro's back in. Franco's back in over third base. The Phils wrap up this series against the Reds and the homestand here this evening. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Ben Davis. Well, we've enjoyed watching Scott Kingery. We actually watched him last year in spring training, and we were overjoyed by his progress. Then he had a great regular season in the minor leagues, and then all of us embraced the fact that he had a chance to make his major league debut this year, and he's already having an impact.
So much. We love what he does offensively. He's been all over the place defensively. We knew the kid was going to hit. We didn't know how much power he was going to have, but not being big in stature, the dude has some thump in his bat. This is his first big league knock here in Atlanta, a bullet back up the box. And then in this homestand, well, we've seen the power start to come out. Monday night, his first big league homer. How he even keeps this ball fair and barrels it is beyond me. But you see him just get it over the left field fence. And then last night, boy, I tell you what, he'll never forget his first grand slam.
Yeah, that was a hanger that was just over the middle of the plate, and it's a short, quick swing. And even the home run, his first major league home run, his teammates could not believe that he got down like a left-handed hitter and was able to pull it over the flower bed. So first 9 games, 258 average, 2 home runs, and 6 RBIs. But combine that with the runs scored and that bottom note where he's played everywhere, including tonight. He has certainly had a big impact for the Phils so far this season. So today is the finale of this 3-game set between the Phils and the Reds. Luis Castillo will make his third start. Nick Pavetta will make his third as well, coming off a very good outing his last time out. Well, this first homestand has been filled with an awful lot. It's always great to get the season started. Some great giveaways, some great pitching by Aaron Nola, some slams and some regular home runs, and a whole lot of runs. We'll see if that continues and Murph celebrates when we return. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, America's best internet provider according to speedtest.net. By Toyota. The Toyota Camry, Highlander, and RAV4 have something for everybody. Toyota, let's go places. By Citizens Bank, official bank of the Phils. Visit citizensbank.com. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at ivx.com. performance during the Phil's 2018 home opener. Nick Pavetta's second start of the season was one that left hitters making quick turns back to the dugout, silencing Marlins hitters with 9 strikeouts and allowing just 4 hits. He allowed 0 walks, which led to 0 runs, and the Phillies' first shutout of the season. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, there is our Philly of the week as he loosens up out on the mound to face the Cincinnati Reds for the first time in his career. 1-0 this year with an ERA of 2.79. His last outing, Ben, 5 2/3, 9 strikeouts. But the key was he didn't walk anybody.
No, he did not walk anybody, and the fastball command was there. The curveball was outstanding. He'll sit about 94 with that fastball. He can bump it up to 98 at times. Curved slider. Like to see the pitches per inning come down a bit.
Well, as he warms up out on the mound, the Reds are getting set to see him for the first time. Let's take a look at their lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, America's best internet provider according to speedtest.net. Well, it's a similar lineup to the one we saw last night. One of the big differences, though, is that 5, 6, and 7 have all changed. Mesoraco, Urban, and Goslin are all in the starting lineup. Billy Hamilton sitting down at the bottom. 247 stolen bases since his Reds debut. Gabe Kapler's team is at 500, trying to climb over the 500 mark. An inch closer to second place in the National League East. All right, so we're ready to go. Here's Jesse Winker, who is 1 for 4 so far in this series. His 1 hit came in yesterday's ball game. Overall hitting .269 with no home runs and 3 runs batted in. The first pitch of the night. Fastball down low, 1 ball, no strikes. Pavetta's allowed 9 hits so far. 2 of those hits are extra base hits. In his last outing, he allowed 4. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. Back-to-back fastballs that he misses low with. It'll be Winker, Peraza, and Votto to start things off for the Reds, who are 2-8 on the young year. He's missing arm side just a little bit.
I'd like to see Jorge sit more on plate, especially in the 2-0 count. Winker's not going to be swinging. Just set it right down the middle. Let that natural run take care of itself.
There's strike 1. See the miles per hour up top at 92 miles per hour. You know, Pavetta can bring it up to 95, 96. And has been known to even go higher than that. But this year we've been seeing him sit 92, 93. Fly ball center field. Odubel heads back toward the track and it's off his glove. He had it all lined up and he didn't reel it in. Yeah, that'll be an E8.
Man.
I mean, he had a long way to go with that for an outfielder that's as good defensively as he is, and he is really good. That's just a miss.
He just misses it flat. Misses it. Ball really took off, though. I mean, that was in the air for a while.
So a runner at second base, and here is Jose Peraza. Peraza 2 for 9 with a strikeout. And he hits a fastball off his leg, and it's no balls and 1 strike. .206 overall. 7 for his last 23 after beginning the year 0 for 12. He bunts toward third. Nice bunt. He'll get the runner over to third as the Reds just try to get a run here. And they'll give him a sacrifice. And 5-3 on the put out. And now Joey Votto coming up.
Not the easiest guy to strike out, but it's a perfect time for a punch out.
Votto is 2 for 8 this series. His 2 hits came in game 1. See his numbers against the Phillies since 2016, just 7 hits. And he lines one right at Franco. Boy, that couldn't have come at a better time, right? I know you wanted a strikeout, but whew.
I'll take that any day of the week for the simple fact that you need to throw 1 pitch. Tom, was that a good scouting report on how to defense Joey Votto?
It did seem like everybody was in the right place.
You have one guy, Miguel Franco is probably 120 feet to the nearest defender. And Joey Votto hits it right to him. That is something.
And now Scooter Gennett, 3 for 8 so far in the series with a double and an RBI. Runner at third, 2 men down. And a slurve inside, 1-0. That's the curveball from Nick Pavetta. I almost feel like his curve and his slider with the same pitch. They just combine into that slurve. He had a good one his last time out.
Sure did.
He was very enjoyable to watch his last game. There, he drops it in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Former 4th round pick in the 2013 draft out of the Nationals organization. The Phillies acquired Pavetta for Jonathan Papelbon. And a fastball at 94, 1-2. Did he just ask if that pitch was off?
Yes.
And he nodded. You think Jerry Mills said it was off? I think he was just trying to be nice, trying to make a friend.
Trying to appease him.
Yeah. Got him. 93-mile-an-hour heater. And Pavetta just picked up Odubel Herrera. It's a 12-pitch first inning. He steps aside the E8. And we'll head to the bottom of the first. Work against the Reds with this lineup brought to you by Xfinity, America's best internet provider according to speedtest.net. Cesar does lead it off, and Kingery's in left field tonight. That means Rhys Hoskins has the day off. Gabe Kapler thinking I give him today, and he has tomorrow off. As Cesar takes low from Luis Castillo, the 25-year-old from the Dominican Republic. In 2 starts so far, an earned run average of 9. And a fastball 1-1.
This kid is special. Sit about 96 with that fastball. 3-pitch pitcher. I'd like to see his pitch per inning come down as well, but if he gets ahead of you, he knows how to put you away.
Inside, and it's 2-1. He's been much traveled. He originally was with the San Francisco Giants, then traded to the Marlins for Casey McGee, and then traded to the Padres. who then traded him back to the Marlins. And then eventually the Marlins traded him to the Reds. Marlins liked him a little bit twice, just not a lot. 3-1 pitch and 3-2. And Cesar is down on strikes, 1 away. So there's the first strikeout. What Ben talked about, that he was able to put you away, but he put him away with a 4-seam fastball.
Close enough where Cesar has to swing, just trying to get a piece of that and foul it off. Unfortunately, swings through it.
Looks like he's having a hat problem, Ben.
There's no way that can be comfortable. There's just no way.
Just sitting on top of his head like that. Here's Kingery. And Kingery takes a strike. Kingery 2 for 7 with 2 home runs in this series. He's tied for 3rd in all of baseball among rookies in home runs. Ohtani has 3. Tied for 2nd in doubles. Brian Anderson has 4. Brian Anderson of the Marlins. He is 3rd in OPS at .872. No balls and 2 strikes. Opposite way foul. Way outside, 1-2. And a line drive out towards center field. That'll be in for a base hit. It's such a good sign that his first several hits, or many of them, have been right through the middle.
Bullets. I guess after Castillo spiked that 0-2 slider, Kingery's sitting fastball here. So, well, that slider was so poor, there's no way he's going to throw it again. Elevated fastball, good swing.
Now Odubel Herrera with a runner at first base. Odubel is 2 for 7 in this series and 9 for 19 on the homestand. And he fouls the first pitch back. 0-1. Odubel overall 344. Excellent on base percentage. Phillies as a team have put together a pretty good on base percentage. And Kingery is back. Off the hands again. One thing about Odubel, and I guess this is the case for most major league hitters, you can't throw it hard enough for him.
No.
I mean, he is right on those 2 pitches. I mean, he fouled both in the back, but he is not overmatched by those 2 pitches, or those fastballs, I should say. Way outside, 1-2.
Just always have to be ready for the fastball. Always. You can sit fastball and react off speed. You just can't sit off speed and react to fastball. Nobody's hands are that quick, especially when you're seeing 96, 97.
And that one's a hot shot off the glove of Goslin. And it'll be a base hit for Odubel Herrera to put runners on first and second. Well, Phil did all he could to knock that down and not make it into an extra base hit and possibly a run.
I think that ball gets by Goslin. Scott Kingery, the way he can move, has a good chance of scoring here, but Phil Goslin, Malvern Prep standout.
I thought you were on a first name basis with him. Why'd you call him Goslin? I called him Phil.
I said Phil Goslin.
But you said Goslin first. He's not going to be happy with that. Here's Santana, who takes outside 1-0. He doesn't call you Davis, does he?
No.
All right. Well, I'm just saying, you guys are supposed to be friends.
We're all friends.
It's like you
One ball and no strikes to Santana. The bouncer right side. The play is at first, so the runners move up. 2 outs, runners on second and third with the fielder's choice. Built for Baseball, presented by T-Mobile, the best network for streaming baseball, because your stadium should be where you make it. Well, now Franco. Michael has hit in 4 straight games. He's had a good homestand, 7 for 15. One to him. Did you have a way you went about pitchers like this that threw this hard? Did you go after them early as possible?
I tried to. I be honest with you, I went after most pitchers early.
Over to third base. Goslin has this one. And he lofted the throw across the diamond in time. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 men left in scoring position. We have played 1. Time for the second when we return.
Yeah, no, it was late.
That was Jocelyn Lamoureux who made the game-winning goal. And then how about this save in the shootout by Matty Rooney? And the United States walked away with the gold medal. And tonight, 3 members of the United States gold medal team threw out the ceremonial first pitch. The Lamoureux twins and Hillary Knight, who's standing by with Greg Murphy. Murph,
She is indeed. Thank you very much, Tom. And yes, I would imagine it just never gets old to hear the words Hillary Knight, gold medal winner. Congratulations, first of all. I know it's been a kind of a whirlwind day here in Philadelphia. Tell us a little bit about what's been happening.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun. We've actually been able to share our success with Comcast and NBC Universal and just make our rounds. It's incredible to have the journey that we had and have a tangible success of a gold medal and to have that experience with other people.
I asked you just a couple minutes ago that I said, does everybody ask if they can put that on? I noticed after you guys threw out the first pitch today, all three of our players asked if they could put it on. And again, I would imagine that doesn't get old either.
No, not at all. It's actually a lot heavier than you think, and I'm always thinking, how many times can you wear a gold medal? How many times do you get to feel one? So it's important for us to share this journey, and the tangible success is what it's all about.
All right, let's talk about that journey. We just saw a couple of the highlights, and the entire country was just captivated by you guys as you went on that journey towards the gold medal. You're a two-time silver medalist before that, the last two Olympics. This year, you take home the gold. You beat Canada, you take home the gold. That moment when you realized we did it, what was that like?
Well, first of all, just living through the game of the age, it was incredible. But we have an incredible group of young women, and to have a gold at the end of the journey is it's a dream come true. You can't really put words to it.
What do you think was different this year with this team? Because you guys have progressed over the last 12 years, bronze medalist, then two-time silver, and now the gold. Was there something intangible that you think you could put your finger on about this particular team that allowed you guys to win it all?
Absolutely. It took us a while to develop an amazing culture, and the team behind the team is so vital to our success as well. So what you see on the ice is hours and countless decisions that we've made every single minute of our lives to put us in a position to win a gold medal. So wrap all that up, and the end goal is a gold.
And it certainly was thrilling. So next up, I mean, you guys have more work to do. I said, what's next for you? You said another gold medal, right? But that's down the road. So what is next for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's back to training in May, and we have a Four Nations tournament coming up in November, but World Championships, definitely eye on the prize and defending our World Championship title.
All right, you will have the bullseye on you because you have the gold medal on you. That's the way it works.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't have it any other way, I bet.
It's well earned.
Yeah. Hillary, thanks for your time. We certainly appreciate it. Glad you enjoyed your time in Philadelphia as well. Hillary Knight joining us, gold medalist from the U.S. Olympics women's hockey team. Thanks, guys. We'll send it back upstairs to you.
All right, Murph, we appreciate that. Cesar Hernandez will put this one away. There are 2 outs here in the second inning. And that'll bring Phil Gosselin to the plate. I remember watching the ceremonies or the shootout before the ceremonies, and the shootout was, I mean, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
To feel that pressure and to be able to not only to score the goal, but then to stop what could have been the tying goal.
To have that kind of unnerving feeling to really not get caught up in the moment and just perform at that level in front of the whole world for gold medal on the line, that is just, I mean, that's game 7 right there.
Yeah, that's where you have to have those intangibles to really succeed, and just the athleticism as well.
The belief in yourself, all that preparation.
Now the right field line, Nick Williams will give this a look. It'll be out into the crowd. The ball's at 2 strikes. Another one fouled off for the sweet level. By the way, Ben, while we have a moment,
yes,
we want to send our best wishes to Joe McDermott, who is our director of hosts here at Citizens Bank Park, a 58-year employee.
Wow.
He's in Penn Presbyterian, and we want him to know that we're thinking about him. Get well soon, Joe. There's so many people that have made this, it may not be their full-time job. Some it is, but for some it's their part-time job, and it's been part of their summer life.
Yes.
I mean, 58 years. And we want Joe to know that he's been missed.
Yes.
And he's not here at the ballpark. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Gosselin. Outside, 1-2. Phil Gosselin was one of 3 non-roster invitees for the Reds to make their opening day roster. He is a super utility guy, as you will find.
now resides in Arizona in the offseason.
It's way too far from Malvern Prep.
That it is. He said his folks moved out of the house he grew up in. He said there's.
That one's toward right field. Williams makes the grab. And the inning is over. A 1-2-3 second for Nick Pavetta. The gold medals are shining bright here at Citizens Bank Park. We appreciate the ladies giving us a chance to enjoy their story. The Big Bang Theory, weeknights at 6:30 and 7 right here on PHL 17. Bottom of the second inning. Reds nothing, Phillies nothing. Nick Williams to lead it off. It'll be Williams, Alfaro, and Pavetta, 6, 7, and 8. Against the hard-throwing right-hander, who's allowed 12 hits. Actually making 14 hits now, counting the first inning. 14 hits in 11 innings. No balls and 1 strike. I wonder if they think he could be a closer at some point in his career. I mean, the thing about it is that his stuff is sustainable as a starter.
That's the thing.
Yeah, so
they can keep it up throughout the course of a ball game.
He's only 25 years old.
Which is why I can't believe he's been moved that many times and he's still only 25.
Well, obviously the Marlins liked him enough to bring him back twice. They traded him to the Reds for Dan Straley. And Straley, you know, he's a 500 pitcher. He'll chew up some innings as that one's lined out to second. But wouldn't you want this young man in your rotation for the next few years?
Yes.
That'll bring Alfaro to the plate. Alfaro takes a strike. It's 0-1.
Right, sitting right.
0-2. 95 down in the zone.
Paul had some movement.
Yeah, it's listed as a 2-seamer, and you can believe it just because of the movement. 4-seamer doesn't generally have that kind of movement. And he's down on strikes, so 2 away. Pavetta coming up. Well, Ben, the Phillies in the Delaware Valley lost a great friend on Tuesday morning when Don Slip, the co-owner of Winter Ford in Cherry Hill, passed away. Don was one of the most generous men I've ever met, and I consider my life vastly better because of our friendship. I'll miss his laugh, the way he said, you know, after every statement, and his sheer generosity, and the way he treated all of us within the Phillies family. If you didn't know him, I am so sorry that you never got a chance to meet him. If you did, you know what I mean. Our thoughts and prayers are with his wife Jackie, his daughters, his grandkids, and everyone at Winter Ford. I was there yesterday when the news broke, and you know, he is a hard person to replace, as Pavetta lines one into right field. I mean, for all of us here in the Phillies family, you know, for my family, my kids were crushed when I told them yesterday.
I've heard you speak volumes of the man for years.
Just an incredible person. J.P. Crawford's coming up. Crawford 1 for 3 with an RBI. And he takes first strike. Crawford hitting .077. And he pops this one off the third base line. Gosselin is over. I thought he might have lost it there for a minute. It was tough to see. J.P. Crawford provided us with our Toyota turning point in last night's game.
Huge knock here. Down 0-2 in the count. Don't hit that rocket to right field and score Nick Williams. Put the Phillies up 2-1 at the time. That was your Toyota turning point.
Opposite way again, fouled off, and it remains 0-2. Pavetta's getting a little frisky. That's a balk, and Pavetta called it.
Oh yeah, cheaters never prosper.
Like Nick channeling his Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer with a stolen base the other night. Votto's not holding Nick on. That is indeed a balk.
In the air to right field. That one is going to be long gone. It is into the second deck. J.P. Crawford. He tied the game last night, and he comes up with his first big league home run tonight. A 2-run shot. The Phillies are on top 2-0.
Well, you're hoping that knock last night was going to really get him going, springboard him to get that average up a bit more. He was really driving the ball in BP today. I know BP is not a telltale sign, but really good driving the baseball today in batting practice, and I think that knock has a lot to do with this swing. Castillo trying to elevate the baseball, it just doesn't get up, and that's up. That's up in big boy land.
Yeah, there's not many guys that you see hit the ball that far. 387 feet or into that deck out there. Here's Cesar, and he takes inside. No, he said he went. 1 ball and 1 strike. Gary Beal said he went. Out towards center field. Billy Hamilton venturing back toward the track, toward the wall. He jumps and he made the catch. He hung on as he slammed it to the fence, and the inning is over.
I don't know if it had enough to get out of here, but that is one spectacular play here by Billy Hamilton. Reaching up, and I think he did indeed take one away from Cesar Hernandez. We're on to the third.
Go to the fans section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. Ben, the question is, who holds the Reds franchise single-season record for highest fielding percentage by a catcher? The answer will be revealed a little later on. Well, I think that's a trick question, honestly.
It's got to be. Right?
The spray paint guy?
Spray paint guy. The blue emu.
0-2 is a breaking ball, cut on and missed. Third strikeout for Pavetta, and 1 out here in the third. Here's Billy Hamilton. He'll provide us with our Hyundai defensive play of the game.
We like when our guys provide with the Hyundai defensive play of the game, but this is spectacular here by Billy Hamilton. It was crashing into that center field wall. He eyes it up, times it perfectly. That is your Hyundai defensive play of the game.
Well, we've seen it on the base paths. We've seen it in the outfield. Murph, I know he's not hitting all that well average-wise, but he is a pain in the neck out on the playing field.
He really is, and we had that conversation today. I had a chance to talk to Billy Hamilton just about being a pain in the neck to the other 29 teams in Major League Baseball, and he laughed. He said that's exactly what he's trying to do. Obviously, he's trying to work to become a better offensive player, and he says he's working at that all the time. But he said in the meantime, he's been able to work to be a better base runner, believe it or not. Even when he came into the league a couple of years ago, he was a prolific base stealer. He said, but back then, he didn't even understand what he was doing. He said, I had the speed and I just went, and that's what I would do. And it's plays like this that, you see him using his speed and putting the pressure on the defense. But he said, over the course of the last couple of years, he learned how valuable he can be to an offense and just getting on base any way he can. And that allows other guys in the lineup to see different kinds of pitches, work different kinds of counts, because they're so worried about Billy Hamilton out on the base pass. And I said, look, everybody talks about your base running, and we talked a lot about the ground you can cover out there. I said, but is there one other thing you wish that guys would talk about when it comes to Billy Hamilton, the baseball player? He said, yeah, I wish people would talk about my arm a little bit more.
He has great arm.
Yeah, he does have a great arm. We saw it the other night when he almost threw Rhys Hoskins out of third from deep right center field, and he said, I went back and looked at that. I didn't even realize, how far I was from third base when I let that one go. He said it's something he's been working on as well, the release point in the throw. He says, yeah, every once in a while I'd like someone to talk about my throws. I said, well, we did. I promised that we did, so yeah.
Did you give him a minute with Murph, teacher?
I did not give him a minute. We spent more than a minute, so, it's more like 10 minutes. I don't have those shirts yet.
Just give him a stack of them. No balls and 2 strikes to Jesse Winker. And he fouls it off to the. Oh, that's going to hurt. Off the hands of a young man. I mean, it was smoked. And a strike 3 called. 4 strikeouts for Pavetta. And he is now retired 9 consecutive hitters. How far did Hamilton go on that? The ball hit by Cesar Hernandez? Well, according to StatCast, look, I mean, that's amazing. The total ground covered over 103 feet. We'll be back with the bottom of the third. Check out every new Ford car, truck, and SUV crossover at buyfordnow.com today. Bottom of the third, and Scott Kingery will lead things off. Yeah, the first pitch of fastball. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's an old arm ripper there for Mesoraco. They were painful. Going back across your body with your mitt, it seemed like you just ripped your arm out of the socket.
Change up, and it's 1-2. They're trying to get Mesoraco to catch more than once a week. They're trying to make him a twice-a-week guy, which is amazing because they thought he'd be an everyday guy.
Yeah.
When they signed him to the big contract, and he hit 25 home runs and hit 25 doubles.
2014 All-Star, National League All-Star.
Little floater out towards second, gobbled up by Jeanette. And 1 away. Thursday, April 19th, when the Phillies return home, they'll take on the Pirates at 7:05. It's the Veritiv Nick Williams Retro T-shirt. It's free to fans 15 and older. And it's also the debut of Throwback Thursday. Phillies will be wearing the powder blue uniforms, and also some 1980s themed promotions going on around the ballpark. You're going to want to head out here for that. Phillies.com to get your tickets. The ball's at 1 strike to Herrera, who reached on a ball off the glove of Phil Gosselin earlier. Change up, 0-2. Floater out towards shallow left field. It's a long run for Winker. He's able to pull it down. 2 outs. And Carlos Santana is coming up. Santana grounded out his first time up. Carlos has really made himself into a good defensive first baseman. You know, I've seen so many infielders use those training gloves. When we were younger, I don't know about you, Ben, but we used like wood paddles that were acting like almost like training gloves, where you made sure you used your hands.
Correct.
Well, now they have little training gloves that do the same thing. It's the same sort of concept. But I've never seen anybody have a first baseman's training glove, and that's what he has. It's an 8-inch glove. I mean, it looks like it would be a 7-year-old that would wear it.
It is tiny.
And he uses it, and he goes through almost the same regimen every single day defensively. The ball's at 2 strikes. Starts off on his knees, and Jose Flores hit some ground ball after ground ball while he's on his knees, reaching with his hands, just his hands, just using his hands. Not using his body, not twisting or turning or anything like that. And then he takes it out toward first base to take ground balls. Same concept. Before he transitions to his normal size glove. The bouncer foul.
And what that trains you to do is catch the ball out in front of you. You don't want to be catching it back in between your wickets. Out in front, nice soft hands. Palm up.
Outside, 3-2. So take a peek. This is earlier today. I mean, he's just constantly working on his jump shot, but also on his ground balls. Constantly.
The thing is tiny.
It's really small. He's got 2 different versions. Out toward left and shallow again. Winker shuffles in, and it's an easy inning for Castillo. Phillies go down in order. So we've completed our first 3. We move on to the 4th. 2-0 Phillies on top. On Furniture provides beautiful options for every part of your office, and WB Mason provides it all at amazingly low prices. All in service means you don't have to lift a finger. Who but WB Mason? Nice night here at the ballpark. As we move to the top of the 4th, Peraza leads it off. Pavetta continues to work ahead of hitters. 10-pitch 3rd inning means his pitch count is at 40 as we begin this 4th. Off the outside corner. Is that a changeup?
Changeup. I don't know why you go with your 4th best pitch in that situation.
Outside again, 3-1.
And that's a perfect example where just because it says it on your wristband doesn't mean you have to call it. I'm serious. I mean, sometimes you have to go with the feel.
Out to left center field. Kingery on the run. That's well hit. It's going to be over his head and off the base of the wall. He played it well, and Peraza will hold it second. And a leadoff double. So you get put into that hitter's count.
Exactly.
And then you have to come over with one.
I mean, 3-1 count. I think Pavetta doesn't want to walk him. Good piece of hitting there by Peraza. Watch the run on this sinker. Whew. Able to barrel it.
All right, so Votto lined out to Franco at 3rd, his first time up. He's been peppering Cesar Hernandez out in shallow right.
So let me ask you this, Tom. So man on first base, 1st inning, Maikel Franco was shaded a bit far more to his left. And that's exactly where Votto hit it. Now he's shaded more to his right. Wouldn't you want to stand in the same spot?
Well, you would. I think it's because there's somebody on second, and he doesn't want to just give him 3rd base.
But he's still not going to. Peraza's not going to beat Maikel to the bag, even if he was playing where he was in Votto's first at bat.
That's the only reason I would think. See Cesar patrolling shallow right.
Rover.
Be a heck of a short fielder in softball. Yeah, Votto, for all the things he's done, I mean, he's been clutch with runners in scoring position. 1-2.
See how low he gets with 2 strikes. Chokes up even more on that bat. I mean, he really gets down a la Pete Rose.
I think this is where last year there would have been a visit to the mound. And this year, even though nobody's come close to using all 6, they just sort of wait and compose themselves. They may have to have a mound visit.
Why would you not burn one here? You're one of the best hitters in baseball. You got to be on the same page right now.
Yeah, Alfaro was looking into the dugout, and we were in the 4th inning. Ball at 2 strikes. Well, that's awfully close. How you going to speed up the game, Ben?
Call more strikes.
Yes, sir. P.J. Willihan's pitch casts. Gotta have it.
Votto with just 83 strikeouts last season.
And a line drive base hit into right center field. Peraza is around third. He'll score. So Votto with an RBI single. He just served it into the outfield. Nick Williams made a pretty good throw. And it's a 2-1 ball game.
Obviously, you'd like to have that pitch before, but go back to this curveball. Not a terrible pitch. Definitely down. 3 defenders on that right side. He finds a way to get it through.
Well, Scooter Gennett struck out his first time up. And it's 0-1. The Reds now with 2 hits in this inning. After Pavetta had retired, it turned out to be 10 consecutive hitters. Down low, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Bouncing ball to first. It's a foul ball. He tried to sell it. He would have had a double play too.
Oh wait.
Just try and get this out in front of that bag, but good call by first base umpire Ben May.
It's actually should be Jerry Meals' call too,
because it's in front of the bag.
Yeah. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Over to the right side. Cesar knocks it down, and everybody will be safe. So 3 straight hits for the Reds. And that'll bring Devin Mesoraco to the plate. A reminder that our second Hatfield Dollar Dog Night is coming up on Wednesday, April 25th. That's a 7:05 first pitch. Go to Phillies.com to order your tickets. There's a lot of red hot being thrown on that dog again. All right, so now Mesoraco, who struck out his first time up. Well, the inning began with a strike to Peraza, and then after that he fell behind 3-1, and now 3 straight hits. Curved ball, and it's 1-0.
You know, you mentioned Mesoraco, how he's pretty much a backup catcher now, despite making a little over 13 million this year. Just has been able to stay out of the training room. Both his left and his right labrum were torn, and his hip
had to be some kind of degenerative thing, right?
Then he had a torn labrum in his left shoulder.
Yeah, his non-throwing shoulder.
And then freakishly gets hit with a breaking ball last season in August and fractures his foot.
Fouls it back, and it's 2-1.
And he was like any other walk of life. You don't have your health.
Yeah.
You know.
You know, they've tried him out in left field. That one's hit well out to right center field. Williams should get to it. He's out on the track. He'll make the catch as he stumbles. The runners will advance. That is a long out. And now second and third with 1 man down.
That ball's probably 12 rows deep in Cincinnati.
Yes, I would agree with that. The Phillies might have been peeking to see if any of the runners had left early. Midfield is back. Irvin takes a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Bouncing ball to shortstop. A run will come in. Crawford will throw over to first. So it's a 2-2 game. 2 men down here in the 4th. And Phil Gosselin is up with a runner at third.
It's okay. Limit damage.
Fastball at the knees. Over to shortstop. JP stays back on it. And in time, the inning is over. But the Reds do tie it up. They get a couple runs on 3 base hits. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. It's the Phillies 2 and the Reds 2. players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. And by Nissan. ShopChooseNissan.com. Well, the Tony Luke's, the grill is popping right now. Man, oh man, do they look good. Got the Delicio's rolls. I mean, they got everything. They got everything.
You know, it all starts with the bread, Tom.
It all starts with the bread. Here's Michael Franco, who grounded out the third. Spinner foul.
That was awfully close.
0-2. Hear what those guys said? Down behind home plate.
What do you say?
Behind the on-deck circle. Well, that was awfully close.
That was authentic. You can authenticate that one.
Change up low, 1-2. Nick Williams is on deck. He may have gone around on that one. Yes, he did. Says the first base umpire, Ben May. He may not have meant it, but his body just kept on going. So one out here in the fourth.
He starts and just not able to keep those hands back. Ball was kind of chasing him.
Williams takes strike one. He lined out to second his first time up.
I know.
Nick has hit it 4 consecutive games. Bouncing ball to Votto. Boy, that would have been much easier if he had flipped it over to the pitcher cover. 3 unassisted though, 2 away. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Down the left field line. Ball's hit pretty well, but foul. It's up near the Bill Giles Suites. Jorge feeling fine after getting hit by the pitch in yesterday's ball game.
Now that was a sinker that was elevated. Good pitch to hit. Although it was 95, so still got in on Alfaro just a bit.
Here's the 1-2 pitch to Jorge. Well, he had to make a decision quick, didn't he?
That slider just kept backing up.
to the right. Got him. 96 down in the zone. 4 strikeouts for Castillo. He's starting to heat up a little bit. We've completed 4 innings. We move to the 5th. The game tied at 2. With Jenkintown's favorite family, the Goldbergs. It's comedy nostalgia at its finest. Weeknights at 6 and 7:30 right here on PHL 17. It is a great show.
I watched the one the other night where the 2 older kids went down to see the Grandpa Maury down in Fort Lauderdale. It's awesome. He called the cops on his 2 grandkids. Oh, it was hilarious.
I've watched it from the beginning, and it just gets funnier and funnier. No balls and 1 strike to Castillo, who struck out his first time up. 0-2. It was cool to see Adam and his brother here last year at Citizens Bank Park. They have so many. I mean, they'd be upset right now at the Flyers trailing 3-0.
Yes, they would.
The dad would anyway. 1-2.
Pretty much the same line for Castillo and Pavetta.
Breaking ball, waved at it, missed. And 1 out here in the 5th inning.
Oh, there we go. Oh, right
Now that's 5 strikeouts. And now Billy Hamilton will be the hitter. He's got good stuff tonight. You know, the unfortunate thing is he ran into trouble early in the 4th.
Throw it again.
Curveball, 1-2.
Nice play. Youngster in the suite. Why you bring your glove to the ballpark.
Yeah, the dirt. Slowed it up even more. 2-2. Got him. 94. Right toward the outside edge of the plate. 6 strikeouts for Pavetta. There are 2 outs here in the 5th inning. And back to the top of the order for Jesse Winker.
Talk about run on a fastball. Late life.
Over to the right side. Cesar gets to it. Pirouette throw. Dig out by Santana. That is a wonderful play to finish up the top of the 5th inning. Nothing across from the Reds, and a little leather from Cesar Hernandez and Carlos Santana. And not an easy play. I mean, just to get the balance. And then the pick on the other end. We'll head to the home 5th. Official Bank of the Phils. Visit citizensbank.com. Well, Reading defeated Portland yesterday 12-4. Today, I should say 12-4. Kyle Martin had a home run and 3 RBIs. Clearwater lost to Jupiter. Derek Hall a 2-run single. Lehigh Valley leads Scranton 2-0. Scranton has won the first 2 games of that series. Jake Thompson went 3 1/3. They're trying to stretch him out again, it looks like. As Pavetta takes a strike, 0-2. Inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Over to third base, and Gosselin's up with it. And 1 away for J.P. Crawford. Last time he was up in the second inning, and he went yard for the first time in his big league career.
They try and elevate this fastball. He goes in the second deck on Luis Castillo. Phillies up 2-0 at the time.
Crawford takes a fastball. Both of these pitchers, I think, are doing a really nice job of working the outside part of the plate with their fastball.
And their pace is excellent.
Fouled away. Inside, 1-2. That one's pulled to the right side, backhanded by Scooter Gennett, and he slings it over in time. That's 9 in a row retired by Luis Castillo.
He really has settled in now in the 5th inning through 4 2/3.
Up the first base line, foul. In the air to right field. How about this? Cesar Hernandez into the second deck. A solo home run, and the Phillies are on top 3-2. That was a blast.
Wow. Que clase fuerte, Cesar. That is a strong young man. He'll let you know too, Tom. That's way back.
I think I'd pose a little bit after that.
What a quick bat. I mean, this is lightning. Wow. Man alive.
Well, it's a 3-2 ball game for Cesar, his second home run. That went 441 feet. An estimated distance with an exit velocity of 109. 1-3 on the putout. Phils are on top 3-2 as we go to the 6th inning.
Major Router, for your service to our great country.
Well, I'll tell you, there's never a dry eye in the house when something like that happens. Air Force Major Robert Routon has been away from his family for a little more than 6 months. And his daughters were invited down to the field to dance with the Fanatic. And they got an extra surprise. It's just incredible every time you see that. Every time you see it, it's incredible.
I love it.
Oh, well, that's pretty cool. The youngest, I guess Elena's the youngest. Look where they noticed. Look at the youngest of the Routon family. That's so cool. That's when they first noticed.
Their faces are priceless.
Oh, so great. Oh boy. Well, we hope they enjoy their family reunion, and let's hope Dad stays close to home for a long time. We begin the top of the 6th inning at back-to-back breaking pitches. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Middle daughter hasn't let go.
Can you blame her?
No. We're away from time to time, but not that long, and some are away even longer than that, which is, you know, it's a credit to them for serving our country, but it's also a credit to the families for everything that they do and all that they sacrifice for those that serve our country. 1-2 pitch, Kevin, in the dirt.
I love that stuff. Just love it.
Peraza had a double his last time up. I'm with Nick on that one. Back toward the middle, and he throws another breaking ball. And Peraza is aboard with a leadoff single. Sometimes I'm surprised when a young pitcher throws a 3-2 breaking pitch. We've actually seen it a few times this year already with the Phillies. And Pavetta's upset because I think he thought the 2-2 should have been a strikeout.
It's just a hanging slider. I know he turned on a fastball that last at bat, but it was also a 3-1 count. She hit off the left center field wall.
Curveball to Votto is in there, 0-1. Votto so far is 1 for 2. He lined out his first time. Had an RBI single in the 4th inning. In the dirt with a changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outside, 2-1. Runner goes. Pitch is swung on and missed. Throw to second base is a little high. And a stolen base. Now the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I'm not so sure we had someone arriving to the bag a little late again. Another excellent throw by Jorge. No, he's there. He's there.
Yeah, he is.
Peraza was moving.
Two balls, 2 strikes to Votto. Bouncing ball foul. He'll stay alive. Off the hands, out toward left field. That'll drop in front of Kingery. Peraza's around third, heading for home. The throw to the plate on one hop. He is out at home plate.
Would you stop it, Scott Kingery?
Well, Kingery and Alfaro, I mean, Peraza, I think, was shocked.
Absolutely shocked.
Because he did not slide.
He gets a good read on it. I'm not so sure that Scott wasn't going to get there. But it's a good read. See Billy Hatcher waving him all the way. Catch it first, apply the tag. What a throw.
Did a great job by Alfaro after he grabbed it to get it to the baseline and secure the area.
Take it away.
Scooter Gennett, the batter, he takes a strike.
And the icing on the cake is Joey Votto doesn't even advance to second base on the throw, because the throw was low enough to where he thought he might hit the cutoff man. Not a bad arm for an infielder, huh, Tom?
Oof. You can see those the outfield training that he had in college, I should say. Curveball waved at 0-2. There was so much on that throw that it was offline just a little bit, but because there was so much on it, Alfaro could go get it, come back.
That was a good catch and tag by Jorge.
Sure was. One out here in the top of the 6th inning. Phillies up 3-2. He got him. Scooter Gennett down on strikes. 2 outs. Greg Murphy has been waiting to talk to some very special people. Murph?
I have indeed. Air Force Major Robert Routon is back home and with his family, his wife Jill, and the kids here. And wow, you know, we see that the reconnection from time to time here at a baseball game, but it never ceases to cause me to get something in my eye. But it had to be very, very special for you, Robert.
Yes, it was. Very exciting.
When did you know that this was going to happen? Because obviously you were in on the secret. These 4 were not.
Yeah, it was about 2 to 3 weeks ago. I started the ball rolling with the Phillies. So.
Talk, Jill, when you saw him for the first time, I noticed that you kind of like glanced around like, all right, am I on camera here kind of thing? Did it take you a minute to realize what was happening?
Greg, I mean, obviously I recognized the person in uniform, but it did take me a minute to kind of put it all together and realize that he was home. So today.
Guys, how excited are you to see Dad after all this time, get a chance to see him? And
so much.
I'm sure you did. Just a quick, thank you so much for everything that you do. And how important is it to know that Jill is back home taking care of these guys so that you can do your job overseas and do what you need to do?
Yeah, it's vitally important. She does a great job taking care of the kids when I'm gone, and she's a she's almost more of the hero than I am, I think.
Well, I think we got a handful of heroes here. Thank you for your service. Thank you for everything you guys do as well. Go spend some time with Dad, okay? Guys, back upstairs.
All right, Murph, we appreciate it. The Phils get out of it here in the top of the 6th inning. Great celebration here at Citizens Bank Park. Or visit jeffersonhealth.org. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Well, the Phillies on top 3-2 as we go to the home 6th inning. That youngster getting a chance to enjoy a cool night at the ballpark. She is all bundled up. Adorable. Odubel Herrera will lead things off. And Odubel takes a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. Looked like Odubel was taken all the way on that pitch, didn't it?
He's been known from time to time.
Phillies had Victor Arano warming up in the bullpen. He is sat down now. He may get up when the first out is recorded if they decide to lift Pavetta. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pavetta is at 92 pitches, so it wouldn't be shocking if they went to the pen. 3-2. Bouncer out towards shortstop. Charging is Peraza, throws quickly just in time to get Odubel. It was a nice play. Every shortstop, if you are a good one, you have to make that play. But still, sometimes it's still pretty sweet to watch it.
It is. Odubel busting it the whole way. That is a nice play.
Eight ground ball outs for Castillo. And Santana out in front of an off-speed pitch.
I was just about to count those. You beat me to it.
I didn't beat to it. Carl Graber did. He's counting them up. Here we go. I'll give it to you. Here you go, Ben.
8 ground ball outs thus far by
Yep.
Luis Castillo.
Foul ball, 2-2. Outside, 3-2.
This kid's got really good stuff, which you can see, but what I really like about him is his mound presence. You know, he's kind of emotionless out there. Gets it and throws it.
Over to first. Votto's got it. Flip to Castillo covering.
Tom, that's going to be 9 ground ball outs.
Yes, sir. Ben, thank you for keeping tabs on that.
I do what I can do, and I can do it, Tom.
2 outs. And Michael Franco is coming up. Franco's 0 for 2. He's grounded out and he is struck out. By the way, Ben, did you text Matt Stairs and ask if he was in the middle of the brouhaha today out in Colorado?
I did not.
I didn't see him. I saw Mark McGuire. He was in the middle of it.
I'm sure Matthew was out there as well.
Sharpwood is short, backhanded by Peraza, and the inning is over. Nothing across. Phillies go down in order here in the 6th. We have played 6 innings. We're on to the 7th in a 3-2 game. He's got 2 in the 2nd on a 2-run home run by J.P. Crawford, his first major league homer. And then they got another one in the 5th inning on a home run by Cesar. Cincinnati tied it up with 2 runs in their half of the 4th inning. So now as we go to the top of the 7th inning, Nick Pavetta, the deepest outing of his season so far, to work against Phil Irvin. And Irvin dribbles it in front of the plate. That's a fair ball. 1 away. That brings Gosselin to the plate.
Well, they call him El Oso, but he's more like El Gato on that one.
He does move from back behind the plate very well.
Oh, he came home and
Gosselin takes high.
I'm anxious to see him play at third base because I know it's going to happen this year.
You think he's going to play third?
Yes. Maybe not to start a game. He's not going to start a game.
But he'll come in.
Yes.
Swing and a miss, 1-1.
His actions are really good over there.
Well, if he goes in, and let's say Knapp's behind the plate, you think about, if something happens, Florimon would have to be still on the bench then.
Santana?
That's true. We were talking about that the other night. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Goslin. In the dirt. 2-2. All right, so 2-2 here. He just threw him a slider. Cliff Pennington's in the on-deck circle to pinch hit. You come in with a fastball?
I throw 96, yes.
It's another breaking ball fouled away.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, it drives the kids.
Fastball just missed. Close pitches. Jerry Meals is not giving Pavetta tonight. Flared out towards center field. Odubel will make the catch. 2 outs. Tonight's Coors Light refreshing finish. We've seen 2 pitchers that are throwing the ball very well in tonight's game. Luis Castillo, the 25-year-old. Nick Pavetta, also 25, doing it with similar styles.
Very similar styles, and 2 pitchers that have a high pitches per inning count. Well, they've been very efficient tonight's ball game, keeping that pitch count down. A lot of punch outs, a lot of ground balls tonight.
Gabe Kapler out to the mound. 101 pitches for Pavetta, and they're going to keep him in the ball game. Well, Adam Duvall will be the hitter. Duvall is 6 for 25 as a pinch hitter in his career. Started the first 2 games. And he lines that one foul. That'd be another one for us right there, Ben.
Yes.
Curveball hit toward the shortstop side. They had the shift on, and the inning is over. Nick Pavetta with 7 strong innings here tonight. He has scattered 5 hits and 2 runs. He's due up third as we go to the bottom of the 7th. franchise single season record for highest fielding percentage by a catcher.
I mean, there's only one name that comes to mind, and that would be Johnny Bench. I got to go with Johnny Bench.
Johnny Bench is incorrect. The answer is
Brian Pena.
Incorrect.
Single season record for highest fielding percent by a catcher.
Yep. Guy won a Gold Glove.
Tucker Barnhart?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Just got a peek at Nick Pavetta. His night is done. Castillo's night is done. And the first pitch by Garrett is taken down low, 1-0. Amir Garrett in his fourth ball game. He's been very good out of the bullpen. I think a lot of people thought that he would be in the rotation for the Reds. Takes over for Castillo, who goes 6 strong innings. He allowed the 2 home runs. Had 5 hits tonight as Williams loops it out towards short left. It's going to drop in for a hit. It's kicked around a bit, but they'll hold Williams at first. So leadoff loop single.
You may call it a loop single. I call it a thing of beauty.
I'm not saying that I would enjoy it if I was the hitter.
No man's land.
Williams has now hit in 5 straight games. By the way, I was really impressed with Castillo. I'm sure you were too.
Yes.
I mean, just how well he threw.
Yes, I was.
And here's Jorge Alfaro. Rhys Hoskins has come out of the on-deck circle to pinch hit. Adam Morgan's warming up in the bullpen. Nice to get a couple more runs here. There's Morgan. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mesoraco went tumbling all around. Did he get hit with the backswing? I don't think he did.
I don't think he did. I think he just kind of lost his balance.
No, he did lose his balance. You're right. He ducked under to get the baseball. Oh, then he got hit.
Then he got hit. He missed some time with a concussion as well. I didn't throw that in there.
There goes Williams. Pitch is fouled away.
Man, what a jump he had.
He did get a heck of a jump.
Garrett can be long to the plate. Got some long parts.
In the dirt again.
How did that not hit his feet? Good play though by Mesoraco.
2-2.
Why does not catch a piece of his foot?
Ben, some things are tough to explain in the game of baseball.
And I was talking to the Fanatic's best friend today, Tom Burgoyne, and I told him, I said, well, the Fanatic left some remnants of his fur in the studio, in the booth last night. He said, well, the Fanatic does have indeed some new fur. He said, and he's
transplant.
He's been known to shed from time to time.
Foul back to the screen.
Don't worry, you got it. You got it.
It is very brilliant green. I noticed his tail feathers last night. Very blue.
He got himself all polished up for the new season. Take you back. This is where the fur started to fly, along with the hot dogs. In the dirt again. As Rocco blocks it again. Garrett not happy with himself. Garrett was a 22nd round draft pick in high school by the Reds out of Henderson International School in Nevada. But he went on to St. John's University to play basketball. And he played from December on his freshman year at St. John's. Swing of this. Alfaro strikes out. One out here in the 7th inning, and Rhys Hoskins will be up to pinch hit. Numbers for Rhys getting tonight off as Mac Jenkins is going to run out and chat with Amir Garrett. Well, the Phillies once again are offering the student deal. It's back for all high school, college, and graduate students. It's a $15 ticket, plus you get a voucher to use out in Ashburn Alley. You can use it at Chickies and Pete's for some crab fries. Go to Tony Luke's or get a Hatfield hot dog and a Coke. It's good for any home games in April and September. Order as many times as you like. You can just show up at the ticket window with your student ID. Or go to Phillies.com/studentsteal. Devin Mesoraco is shaking his head about something. Jerry Meals. He's talking to him about something. Breaking the ball, and it's 0-1. Amir Garrett shot out of a cannon in his first 3 games last year with the Reds. He made 3 starts, was 2-1 in those first 3 starts, but with an ERA of 1.83 and a batting average against him 203. And then he got roughed up against the Brewers, but came back the next 2 outings. They went 7 innings and then 6 innings, allowed 2 earned runs each time. One and 2.
Slider after slider.
Throws him a fastball and it runs up. And it's 2-2.
That's a pretty good score. Right. Right. No, there was no one there.
Just wrote the line score down for Nick. That's back-to-back games, no walks.
That's great.
Well,
I think he had games last year where command was an issue. And a foul tip, and Hoskins strikes out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Garrett, 2 away. And here's J.P. Crawford, who was homered tonight. He's grounded out to second base. Trying to pull that outside pitch. That one's off the hands, softly to second. Jeanette's got it. The Phillies are retired here in the 7th. No runs, 1 hit. And a man left at first. We move on to the 8th inning and into the Phillies bullpen. Hondadealers.com and buy WB Mason. Who bought WB Mason for fast, free delivery? Nobody does it better. We have played 7 innings here at Citizens Bank Park. We move on to the 8th inning. It is a busy night for Philadelphia sports. You get the Flyers playing in Pittsburgh. The Sixers are playing across the street, although I'm not sure if the Bucks have shown up just yet. Sixers have put 70 points on the board in the first half.
They've doubled them up.
Adam Morgan will go to work. Here in the 8th inning, facing Billy Hamilton. And the first pitch sails outside. Over to the left side. Crawford better hurry. He surrounds it and in time to make the play. That's an excellent play by J.P. Crawford.
Not able to get a ton on it, but it's the release that's able to get Billy Hamilton. He knows he's got to get rid of it in a hurry, and he sacrifices a little bit of velocity across the diamond because he gets rid of it so quickly, just in the nick of time. Nice play.
Well, that was some great hands, some great footwork by J.P. And here is Jesse Winker with 1 man down. No. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Golden stone.
Ground ball right up the middle. Base hit for Winker. All right, so 1 out base runner. Let's go over to Greg Murphy, who's got our Geico date in history.
I sure do. April 11, 2011. It's a story about Sam Fuld, who is the Phillies Major League Player Information Coordinator. He was playing for the Rays at the time, and he went to Fenway Park for the very first time in his career. It is the park that he grew up very close to and went to as a kid. In that game, he had in his first 5 at-bats. In 5 at-bats, he had a triple, a home run, and a double. So he came up in the 9th inning with a chance to hit for the cycle. All he needed was the base hit. All he needed was the single. Instead, he laced a double into the gap and ended up at second base with his second double of the game. 4 extra base hits in the ball game. I had a chance to talk to Sam about it today. I said, well, first of all, did you think about dropping anchor at first base and just taking the cycle? He said, my buddy Jed Lowry was playing first base for the Red Sox at the time, and I went back to him and said, why did you trip me?
Yeah.
You could have tripped me. It would have been all good. I would have stayed at first and gotten the cycle. He said, but honestly, he had gotten to the ballpark that day. At about noon, he and his wife went out on the field at Fenway Park, and they walked around, and he said it was kind of like a magical moment for him. He said, Murph, I could have gone 0 for 5 with 5 punch-outs, and I would have had one of the best days of my life. Instead, he had 4 extra base hits in that game, but a pretty special day. April 11th, 2011 for Sam Fuld.
That's neat. If you watch Sam play, and I know he didn't have a long major league career, but he was a really good defensive player.
Yes, he was.
Sprinkling in a little offense there too, but a really good defensive player. 0-2 pitch coming to Peraza. Broken back ground ball over to third. Picked up by Franco to second for 1. Over to first, not in time. The bat did go into the stands. Fortunately,
somehow made it over the net.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to make it over the net, but fortunately, it just landed near a vacant seat.
Man, you don't see bats break like that a ton.
Everything that we've seen so far this year, the bat has basically hit the net. Oh, it had some velocity on it.
Sure did.
Joey Votto 0 for 3 against Morgan.
Getting back to that, call me crazy, but I think I'd rather have the double than the single for the cycle.
Well, you're crazy.
Would you rather have the cycle?
No, I mean, I don't think you can ever slow down the game. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I think you have to take what the game gives you in that sense.
Murph, what would you rather have? Would you rather go for the double or drop anchor?
He rides his bike a lot, though. He likes the cycle. All right, Murph, thanks for playing.
I was thinking about it. That's what I was doing. I would take the double. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can't stop at first at that point.
Well, considering I'm much slower than the other you two, I'd probably still be at first base.
Then you, my friend, would have the cycle.
I would have the cycle. Maybe not as slow as Ben, but.
That is a good park to do it in, though. Fenway, with all the nooks and crannies, really deep to right center,
and plus the fact that he had such a tie to the ballpark. Fly ball center field. Herrera has it lined up. Well, the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. We played 7.5. The Phils hanging on to a 1-run lead. Cesar Hernandez will lead it off when we get back. Plans start as little as 9 games and offer great benefits, such as invites to exclusive season ticket holder events. Go to Phillies.com or call 215-463-5000 for more details. Well, the closer for the Reds, Raisel Iglesias, will take over here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Cliff Pennington takes over at shortstop as Cesar Hernandez leads things off. Hernandez homered his last time up. A blast that went 441 feet. That was the estimated distance. It is the 5th longest by a Phil's player since the start of last season. Hector Neris warming up in the pen. Check swing. And it's 1-2. Pop up on the infield. And Gosselin says he has it. And 1 out here in the 8th inning. Time now for our Nissan upgrade. Upgrade to the technology of tomorrow today. Grand slams in your first or second career home run. Scott Kingery joins Nick Williams and Chase Utley. He is the 16th Philly all time to accomplish that, thanks to last night's grand slam. Fastball at the knees. Raisel Iglesias last year took over the closer's role for the Reds. He needs a new baseball, Ben.
That last one only had so many strikes in it, Tom.
Just another one for you to steal. A 1 pitch. Whoa, we should have taken the other ball back. Still my favorite with that is Jamie, when he used to toss 1, 2, 3 out before he found what he liked. Never threw it back to the catcher, just threw it to the dugout.
And he'd have the bat boys rub him up so dark. I said, Jamie, you know, we got to hit too, you know. I'd like to see what I'm trying to see what I'm hitting.
Oh, I hope he's watching. I love when you do Jamie Moyer's laugh. 2-1 pitch to Kingery. A bit outside, 3-1.
Probably the one story I tell more than anything about Jamie is we went out, Gary Sheffield was hitting, and he calls first pitch change up in. And I go out to the mound. I said, what do you want to throw? He goes, change up in, first pitch. I said, why? He goes, I want to see how far foul he can hit it.
3-1 is in there, 3-2.
Okay, let's go. I want to see how far foul he can hit it.
Swing and a miss. 95 on that fastball. 2 outs here in the 8th inning. August 10, 2008. It's our favorite moment from Jamie Moyer. We like to show this every once in a while. Here we go.
Pick him up and put him down. he pushed him, and then he tried to grab onto him. Want me to finish the end of the inning, Tom?
Oh my gosh, it really is one of my favorite videos. One ball, no strikes to Odubel. And 2 balls, no strikes.
It was almost like he was trying to push him to get out of the way, and then halfway through the push, he felt bad that he was pushing him, so he tried to grab him. He tried to grab his jacket, help him back up.
Fouled back to the screen.
Hopefully he'll get that fastball again. 2-0 pitch.
By the way, I see Randy Marsh every once in a while, and I laugh every time I see him, and he probably looks at me saying, why is he laughing at me? Outside corner, 2-2.
Man.
Foul back to the screen. Stick around for Brian Taft, Sherry Williams, Adam Joseph, and Deuces Rogers for the most watched news at 10. Immediately after the game, stay tuned for Action News at 10 on PHL 17. Two balls, 2 strikes. Foul tip hung on to by Mesoraco, and the inning is over. A 1-2-3 bottom of the 8th inning for Raisel Iglesias. That means we're going to the top of the 9th inning, and yeah, we'll go to the top of the 9th inning chuckling a little bit with our friend Jamie Moyer. Post-game concert featuring Grammy-winning artist Zedd. Your game ticket is your concert ticket, Ray. So no additional purchase is necessary. All fans 15 and over will also receive a free pair of Coca-Cola Phillies headphones. Tickets are on sale now by going to Phillies.com/Zedd. There's Hector Neris.
Get 3 outs the fastest way you can.
Yeah, it'll start off with Scooter Gennett. Mesoraco. It's 1-2. First pitch is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Line score. The Phils took the lead in the 5th inning. And Cesar Hernandez's solo home run. 1 ball and 1 strike. Opposite way. On the run is Kingery, and it is still in the yard off the top of the wall. And Gennett will go to second base. A leadoff double. Brian Price is going to pop out of the dugout. It's worth a conversation with the umpires. This would be a crew chief review, so at this point in the game, you just ask.
And he has shown a ton of opposite field power in this series.
Here's the first shot. See, right off the top of the green, or the NovaCare sign, NovaCare rehabilitation sign. Now look at the top of your screen. Boom. It's still in the yard. It's got to go over that small fence in order to be a home run. Jerry Mills to your left. Gabe Morales to your right. He made the call. So this is a crew chief review at this point in the game.
I don't know why it's taking so long.
It's weird how it's taking so long. To me, they should have the answer as soon as they put the headphones on. Well, we'll take a look at it again, just because we can. There you see it, off the top, not over the small fence.
And you never lose sight of the ball, so that should tell you right then and there that it didn't go over that little fence.
Yeah, but by the time they have their headsets on, I think they should have their answer.
I concur.
All right, so Jerry Mills points to second base, so it's not a home run. So here's Devin Mesoraco. After Darris has got a little dancing to do here. He's got the tying run at second base here in the top of the 9th inning. In the dirt, Alfaro keeps it in front. Every time the Phillies retire the opposition 1-2-3, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. They've had 4 1-2-3 innings this evening. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, America's best internet provider, according to speedtest.net. And a liner out toward left field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. They'll hold Gennett at third. Fortunately, Mesoraco did not advance from first. So now first and third with nobody out. And Phil Irvin is coming up. They may have Alex Blandino pinch run for Mesoraco. So that means the Reds are down to their backup catcher, who's going to have to come into the game anyway if the Phillies don't get this out. That's it.
You don't think Blandino's going to catch?
I do not. I mean, maybe. Phillies will play the infield in with Irvin up. Hector had no intention of throwing that pitch. Inside, 1-0. No swings as the first base umpire. Falling behind here, these first three hitters.
It's a very odd defensive alignment there from Phil's. Crawford in on the grass.
Cesar back.
Cesar back. Michael not all the way back, but deeper than JP.
Because Cesar's going to have to come home. Maybe he's back in case he wants to cover second on a steal.
Maybe.
Attempt.
Yep.
2-1 pitch. And a liner out towards center field. Odubel coming in, and he reaches down. He can't get it. The game will be tied. Blandino stops at second. It's a 3-3 ball game. All right, so Urban comes up with the hit.
For a second, Odubel was going to have a chance to get to this ball.
I thought so too.
That's a split that doesn't do a whole lot.
I don't know if he saw it right away. Well, Hector had converted 21 straight save opportunities until tonight. And here's Barnhart, who shows bunt, takes high, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Still nobody out. So now you have to manage this inning, keep it at a 3-3 game. Give the Phils a chance to win it in their final at bat. Barnhart bunts it in the air, foul, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Is it odd to have him bunt in this spot?
I don't think so.
Okay. No, I know traditionally it's not, but off the bench, I thought maybe they just let him hack it away here.
Do you think rather they use a pitcher in this situation to get a bunt?
Well, he's got to come in the game anyway because they already pinch ran for Nazaraco, but I don't know. There's nobody out. I just thought maybe they just let it fly at this point.
He actually tried to bunt for a hit last night. You know, with that overshift on.
And he bunts it toward third, picked up by Franco. Well, they had to play at third. Unfortunately, there was nobody there, so the sacrifice is successful. That's why it's so important to bunt the ball to the third base side.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm all for the bunt. I'm just, in this day and age in baseball, sometimes I'm surprised when it happens and when it doesn't happen. So Cliff Pennington, the hitter. The Phillies will have to play the infield in. Well, I guess they don't have to, but they've chosen to. Nine hits now for the Reds.
And if you're wondering why they're not walking Pennington, because of the man on deck.
Because of his speed?
Correct. Billy Hamilton is be the toughest man in all of baseball to double up. Ian D. Gordon.
By the way, that run for the Reds is their 14th run this year in the 8th or the 9th inning of games. 1 ball and no strikes. 1-1. Fishing. It's 1-2. Got him. Got him with a split. That's the best his split has looked in this inning in that at bat. 2 outs.
Yeah, that one had some good tilt to it. Good downward motion.
And now Billy Hamilton.
Huntington thinking fastball all the way, not picking up the spin. He's still got to be aware of Billy Hamilton laying down a bunt here.
Fastball 0-1. Phillies in their half of the 9th inning. Santana, Franco, and Williams. There's certainly enough pop in those 3 to get a run across the plate. One ball, 2 strikes. With 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning. He got him. His split finally arrived with the last 2 hitters. The Reds, though, do tie it up in the top half of the 9th inning. So now we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Phillies will send Carlos Santana, Maikel Franco, and Nick Williams to the plate to try to win it. I'm sorry, Barnhart catching. Blandino stays in the game to play 3rd base. And Iglesias will continue After pitching a scoreless 8th inning, he'll now pitch here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Carlos Santana will lead things off. First pitch, a breaking ball high. What pitch to Santana. Changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike. Iglesias, who defected from Cuba. The 1-1 pitch to Santana. Another changeup, 1-2.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it sure is. Reminder, will be live after the game with post game on the NBC Sports app. Saw Urban had what was the decisive hit in the top of the 9th inning to tie this game up. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Santana. Bouncing ball to first. Gloved by Votto, takes a peek into the stands. And 1 away. Pretty confident fellow to grab it, take a look. I guess the fans bother him a little bit.
It's all just part of it.
Part of whatever it is.
Exactly.
Whatever it is. Oh, 1-1. Mets have defeated the Marlins 4-1. Zach Wheeler picked up the victory. Chris O'Grady the loss. Mets are off to their best start ever. 10-1. They've won 8 in a row. And the 0-2 pitch. Got him. A couple change-ups and a slider. And 3 strikeouts for Iglesias. Yeah, that'll bring Nick Williams up.
And be a hero again.
Luis Garcia waiting to come in if we need to go to the 10th inning. He's got that changeup going right now, doesn't it?
It is a good one. Well, the thing is, you have to respect his mid-90s fastball.
No question.
And if you're reading fastball, you got to gear up for it. Next thing you know, it's 10 miles an hour slower. You're going to be out in front. Comes another one.
0-2. Fastball, strike 3 called, and we're going to extra innings. That's 9 in a row retired by the Reds bullpen. We've completed 9. We're on to the 10th. It's a 3-3 game. at 3. Luis Garcia is the new pitcher for the Phillies. And he will face the top of the order. Garcia 5.06 earned run average. Jesse Winker will lead it off. He singled his last time up. He is 1 for 4. Breaking ball, and it's 0-1. One ball, one strike. Trying to cool off his elbow, Ben. His non-throwing elbow. Oh, doing a little Red Bull. Ball popped foul, and it's 1-2.
I have never seen that before, Tom.
I'm assuming he's doing that just to keep his hands. He's going to touch it up with his hand.
He's got to.
Wandy Peralta. I have to admit, I've never seen that either.
Never seen it.
Tapper foul. A lot of times you'll see pitchers wipe their brow over and over again when they're trying to get a good grip of the baseball to rub it up. So I guess he's not breaking a sweat, so he's trying to make some sweat. Bouncy ball foul into the dugout. Murph, did you catch that?
I did not catch that. I dove under the table here.
Did Matt catch it?
Nope. He didn't catch it either.
I can see you, Matt. Again, the 1-2 pitch coming. Outside 2-2. Swing and a miss. 95 down to the zone, 1 out.
That's 95 acting like a splitter. Oh, went straight down. I mean, this literally goes straight down.
I thought Iglesias is going to bat here. I mean, he has to, because they're out of position players and bench players. So it's either him or one of the other players, or one of the other pitchers, I should say. He's not going to pitch again. At least I don't think he will. Outside, 1-0. Look at Brian Price. That's all I got left. It's a pretty healthy cut, 1-1.
I don't know why he's swinging until he gets a strike. Or even 2 strikes.
Doesn't get many chances as the closer to swing, Ben. Two career extra base hits. Four career hits overall. Yeah, the 1-2 pitch. Fouled it off. He never batted in Cuba. Thought maybe he would. Backswing caught Alfaro. Bouncing ball, foul. Billy Hatcher. He can hit a little bit, Billy Hatcher.
Sure could.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2. Billy Hatcher played 43 games for the Phillies back in 1994. Swing and a miss. He finally got him. Took a few extra pitches. And there are 2 outs here in the 10th inning. And it brings Joey Votto to the plate. Boos are a little louder.
They sure are.
Votto takes strike 1. One ball and 1 strike. Outside, 2-1, 96, just off the outer edge. Alfaro, the pitcher, Spot, and Crawford are due up for the Phils in the 10th inning. Trying to get there without allowing the Reds to score. And he hits it toward the open spot on that shift. I mean, everybody was over, including Franco, who was behind the second base bag. So a 2-out single. And Scooter Gennett is coming up.
And Michael directly behind the bag.
First time we've seen that. 4 infielders on the right side.
I've talked to many folks. They said if they were commissioner, first thing they would do would be make the shift illegal.
I don't know if anybody would accept it anymore.
You just look at it. What's the purpose of defense? To prevent the other team from scoring.
Right.
So if you're preventing the other team from scoring, preventing them from getting base runners, that's, if you think that's your best way to defend from said base runners, then I don't know how you could say you can't do it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were for.
What I mean? No.
Okay.
I just say I don't think it'll ever go back. But
no, my
that's
thought
like
is
telling a team, say a team is a horrible 3-point shooting ball club, and just saying, you know what, you still have to play man to man.
Yeah, my feeling is learn how to hit the other way.
Okay.
One ball and 1 strike to Scooter Gennett. Fly ball center field. It's well hit. Odubel's back there toward the fence. He jumps and he made the catch. He just robbed a home run and kept this ball game tied. A tip of the cap from Luis Garcia. It's a short fence, and Odubel did it the right way. He went back to the spot and then launched himself, and that would have been into the bushes easily if not for the defense of Odubel Herrera. No runs, one hit, one man left, and one very frustrated Scooter Gennett. An amazing play by Odubel Herrera. It makes it look so easy. He took his eye off of it too.
And that ball is definitely out of the ballpark. 100% out of the ballpark.
Here's Statcast. Shows you how far he went. 75 feet to grab that one.
But how about the carry on that ball? I just didn't think it was going to go that far.
Garcia certainly liked it. Here's Wandy Peralta. This is his 6th ball game. And Jorge Alfaro will lead it off. Alfaro is 0 for 3. Altair is on deck. Yeah, the first pitch whacks the mask off Barnhart. There's Altair. Whacked up the third base line, picked up by Peralta. He almost cost himself because he took an extra moment to make that throw, but he's able to retire. 10 in a row retired by the Reds bullpen, and now Altair at the bottom of the 10th inning.
You know what though, you'd rather your pitcher do that, to take that extra quick step, put a little something extra on it, instead of just rushing that throw and airmailing the first baseman down the first base line. So he takes that extra little step and fires a strike on a Joey Votto.
So Altair 2 for 11 as a pinch hitter. He does have a home run outside 1-0. Gap is wide open in left center field, but remember, Billy Hamilton's one of the fastest players in baseball and covers a lot of ground.
Seen some really good changeups in tonight's ball game. Castillo, Garrett had a good slider. Iglesias had a very good changeup. There's a good one by Peralta.
Two and one. Odubel probably went back and watched that catch just to, you know, get a little extra boost of his confidence. Three balls and one strike. And ball four. So Altherr is aboard. Second inning in the 10th inning. Both center fielders showing their athleticism. The second is on the right, the 10th on the left. You thought Hamilton's that ball was going to go out?
It would have been close.
Yeah.
It would have been close.
Really good play.
I know for sure the one on Odubel would have gone out when Scooter
absolutely.
Jeanette just hit.
Well, two very good defenders. Here's J.P. Crawford. Crawford has homered tonight. He's 1 for 3. Altherr short lead off first, and it's 1-0. Runner goes. Votto's throw is in time. Cliff Pennington dove at Aaron Altherr. 2 outs. 1-3-6 on the putout.
Aaron's going first move here. Pennington stumbled over the bag. That's why he ended up falling over Aaron.
Almost cost him too.
Yeah.
Because he almost fell to the point where the tag was down on the backside of Altherr and his hand almost got in ahead of it. 2 balls and no strikes. That may have been ball 3. Nick Pavetta went 7 innings tonight for the Phils. 2 runs on 5 hits, 7 strikeouts. I think Jared Hughes had too much Red Bull. Too much of Wandy Peralta's Red Bull.
If he comes in, he'll be in all 3 games in this series.
Yep, all 3. And ball 4. So Crawford walks. Back-to-back walks for Peralta. And here comes Cesar. And Mac Jenkins is heading out to the mound. Cesar tonight is 1 for 4. He had a 441-foot home run last time he popped out to third. You thought he was getting a fastball there in that first pitch. But it's 0-1. Got a change up and he went 0-2.
It is a good one.
Scott Kingery on deck. The Phillies have already used Altair and Hoskins. They have Florimone and Knapp listed on the lineup card. Outside, 2-2. That's a tough pitch to take. So Crawford will be off and running. You got a wild Peralta, but he's gotten 2 outs.
Cesar doing his thing. 0-2 to 3-2.
Hamilton is shallow in center field. Crawford is short lead off first. He goes back and then finally goes. And it remains 3-2. Picked one off, so he's probably thinking I might be able to get another one if he's going to be running on this pitch. Runner goes, ball 4, first and second. The winning run is at second base.
What an AB.
3 straight walks for Wandy Peralta. And now Scott Kingery and Brian Price is going to bring in Jared Hughes to face Kingery. So he's going to go with the righty on the righty here in the bottom of the 10th inning. So pitching change coming up for the Reds. We'll be back with Scott Kingery's at bat right after this. he's got a song playing in his head as he's coming in.
Very excited to pitch in tonight's contest, Tom.
Trying to get his adrenaline rolling as he's sprinting in.
There's no way he's opting for the bullpen cart in Arizona. No chance.
Unless he drives it.
He probably ran faster than the car would get there.
17 seconds it took him to get from the bullpen to the mounds. Well, he'll face Scott Kingery, who's had quite a homestand. He's hit his first 2 major league home runs, including a grand slam. He singled in his first at bat. He's 1 for 4. J.P. Crawford at second, Cesar at first. The guy at second, though, is the one that matters. And a first pitch at the knees, and it's 0-1. A sinker at the knees.
That's what you're going to get out of Hughes. Might mix an occasional slider, but he loves the sinker.
Outfield shortens up a little bit more all the way around, including the right fielder Irvin. Oh, and 2.
Got Kingery with that same sinker the other night.
Kingery looked a little out front of that one there at 91 miles an hour. Ground ball foul. Little guy getting an extra souvenir before he exits the ballpark.
First walk-off for Scott Kingery here?
Why not? First one of the year for the Phils. And now the 0-2 pitch coming. Bounces it foul again. This one into the Reds dugout or toward it. And it remains 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch to Kingery. Way outside. Barnhart able to smother it.
And there's the one slider. I think he's got to go back to that sinker. That's his bread and butter.
Bouncing ball foul again. Kingery last year in August had a hitting streak for the Iron Pigs. And he extended that streak to 15 consecutive games with a walk-off single to left center field. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got it. And that will wrap up the 10th inning. No runs, no hits. 2 men left. 3 walks issued in the inning. We're on to the 11th inning. All tied up at 3. We're here. J.P. Crawford, his home run, a 2-run shot, first of his major league career. That gave the Phils a 2-0 lead. And then in the 7th inning, Cesar Hernandez gave the Phils a 3-2 lead.
Both upper deck.
Both in the middle deck, I should say. Then in the 9th inning, the Reds on this ball off the glove of Odubel Herrera. Thanks to Phil Irvin, they tied it up at 3. Those are your W. Mason deliveries of the game. Blandino will lead it off against Ramos. And a swing and a miss. He was tardy on the 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Ramos, 6th game, 4 innings so far, 2 hits and 4 strikeouts. Surprised he didn't come back with another 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
Literally just threw it right by him.
I think he just throw it until he can show he can hit it. Three balls and 1 strike. I was just cleaning up some paper, Ben.
Got a lot of Post-it notes over there, partner.
Out to left field, out toward Kingery. 1 out. And now Phil Irvin. Irvin had the RBI single his last time up. Hitting a $188. Breaking ball, and it's 1-0. By the way, the Yankees and the Red Sox have cleared the benches for a 2nd time in their game. Fights all over the place, Ben. Some ejections in that ball game. Up the third base line off the foot of Irvin. Yeah, that's going to be painful. Ow.
Right off the top.
Quackenbush warming up in the bullpen. The Yankee Red Sox game, Tyler Austin, I guess, slid in hard at Brock Holt, so the bench is cleared there. And then later on, Joe Kelly, who throws 100. Well, he threw at Tyler Austin not once, but twice. Three and 2. Three balls and 2 strikes to Irvin. trying to stay alive. A check swing and a foul ball. And a check swing, ball 4. All right, so Barnhart is up now with 1 man down. Barnhart, his last time up, had a sacrifice bunt, which put a couple runners in scoring position after the Reds had tied it, but they were left at their respective bags. First pitch coming. Runner goes. Pitch is high. Throw to second base is. Oh, what a tag. J.P. Crawford got Irvin as the ball was taking him into the base path.
He got him right on the noggin, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yes, indeed.
Two outs.
That'll work.
And Barnhart bunts toward third and a base hit. With the shift on. So a base runner here in the 11th inning. And Cliff Pennington coming up. He struck out his last time. Obi Milner is warming up in the bullpen. There's Obi. Ball and 1 strike. Fly ball off the left field line and off the target. A reminder that Action News is coming up next here on PHL 17. Phillies post-game live you can see streaming on the NBC Sports app. Got him.
Pitch.
Pennington strikes out for the second time, and that'll do it for the Reds here in the 11th. No runs, a hit, 1 man left. All even at 3. Odubel to lead it off when we return. in the 15th inning, a Nick Williams RBI double. Now they're trying to pick up their first one of the year. Let's take a look at Jorge Alfaro's defense the last inning, and StatCast is going to help us out a little bit with this.
In the time, Eddie Ramos lifts his leg into the mitt. The mitt to second base, 1.92. The league average is around 2. Anything below 2 is considered very good.
So pop time is mitt of Alfaro to second base.
To second base, yeah. Correct.
Well, Kevin Quackenbush will take over here in the 11th. Takes over for Jared Hughes, who went to third. First pitch is in there, 0-1.
And that 1.92 by Jorge, I guarantee that was probably the worst throw he's had of all the throws in this series.
Yeah, no question.
So that pop time on the other ones would have been better than 1.92.
One ball and one strike. Odubel tonight reached on a single off the glove of Phil Gosselin in the first. Flied out, grounded out, struck out. One ball and two strikes. And it remains 1-2. Santana waits on deck. Phillies have had home runs tonight from Crawford, his first of his major league career, led by Cesar Hernandez. 1-2 to Herrera. Checked his swing. 2-2. Since the start of last season, the Phillies have had 9 different players hit their first career home run. That is calling that's something you would call rebuilding and replenishing with all the young players coming up. Entering play today, only one other team has as many, and that's the Padres. Well, Odubel did not have a good at-bat as he goes down on strikes. That's 12 strikeouts for Reds pitching this evening. And now Carlos Santana. Santana is 0 for 4. Grounded out in his last at-bat. That was in the 9th inning. Fouls it away. And he's in the hole. Oh, 2. He has hit several balls to the warning track in center field in this series. Way upstairs.
He will challenge you, won't he? Comes another one.
I guess they think he's going to chase high.
They wanted it high, but not that high. I mean, that's ball out of his hand. For a guy that doesn't throw, I mean, today's standards, hard, 90 to 92. I mean, he will throw you a hater.
Outside ball 4. Well, we mentioned all the strikeouts the Reds have had tonight. They've also had their share of walks in the last couple of innings. That's the 4th walk in the last 2 innings. But it's they hadn't walked anybody before that.
Right.
Michael Franco. For 4 tonight. To the right side. Scooter Gennett will get to it and throw out Franco. Up to second goes Santana. And here comes Nick Williams.
Gotta walk him here, wouldn't you think?
With the righty on deck, yeah, I would walk him. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. So Jorge Alfaro. The winning run is at second for the 2nd consecutive inning. Left field, Winker is deep. Hamilton not as deep. Right fielder Urban is deep.
It's been a rough night for Jorge. 3 strikeouts and a ground ball back to the pitcher, but he could be a hero right now.
And a hot shot toward third, and Blandino is able to flag it down. I don't know how he did it, but he did. And the forced play at second, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, 2 men left. We will go to the 12th inning. Tied up at 3. Here are the 12. And Milner will face Billy Hamilton. Hamilton is 0 for 4 in tonight's game, so the Phillies have kept him off the base paths. Good job by Ramos, who went an inning scoreless. He allowed a hit, but he also struck out a batter. First pitch, he slings in for a strike. Phillies still have Arano, Hutchison, and Yaxel Rios available. Okay, Kapler taking a look at his lineup card, marking it up. Rios is warming up behind Milner. The pitcher's spot is due up third for the Reds. That's why it's imperative to get this guy, because you know you're going to be pitching to a pitcher, whether it be another starting pitcher or Quackenbush. Two balls and 2 strikes. Pitches inside. The dirt, 3-2. Then would you challenge him with a fastball? I know he does have some pop, but
go with whatever pitch you feel you have the most command with. The last thing you need here is a walk. I got to have Billy Hamilton put the ball in play here. I have to.
There's the 3-2 pitch. And he puts it in play out to right field, but right at Williams. Such an important out.
Yes.
I mean, the first out of an inning is always important, but you peek down to the on deck circle. Now the Reds are out of bench players. There's Jesse Winker, 1 for 5. You also don't want this guy to get up. Either one of those two. Winker to the right side. Cesar has it. A few steps to his left. And there are 2 outs. Now, when they played the Pirates on Sunday, Tyler Mahle was the only one that got a hit against Jamison Tyone. So the Reds have decided that he'll be the next pinch hitter. Pedro Florimon is coming in as part of a double switch. All right, so Franco is out. Florimon comes in, and they're going to bring in the right-hander Yaxel Rios. Yaxel's wondering if he has been signaled in just yet. The umpire did wave him in.
Gabe's not taking any chances, even with the pitcher up.
Ron Culper just said, hey, man, come on. So here he comes. All right, so we got a pitching change here in the 12th inning. Game tied up at 3. Malley is going to pinch hit for the Reds. A pitcher, starting pitcher. Well, he wants every advantage possible. The first pitch is down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Ball, no strikes. And that's in there for a strike. 1-1. The hope is that Rios is here for just one guy, and that's it. Because you do not want to face Joey Votto or Scooter Gennett. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-2. Nice diving stop up the stairwell by a patron. He was not letting anybody get near that baseball. Here's the 1-2 pitch now. Got him. 95 down in the zone. It's a 1-2-3 top of the 12th inning. All right, so we'll remain tied at 3. Florimon will lead it off when we come back in the bottom of the 12th. And Austin Bryce will be the new pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds, and he will face Pedro Florimon. Bryce, a 5.40 ERA. He's pitched in this series already. So Pedro Florimon. See if he can get on base. The leadoff batter has not been on base for the Phils since the 7th inning. And now the first pitch to Florimon. And that's a hot shot on 1 hop out to Gennett. Can't hit it any harder. The throw is high over the head of Votto, and Florimon on his way to second, and that throw gets by, but it's backed up by Gennett. And the Phils have the winning run in scoring position to start this inning.
Useful.
Well, that's just a straight E4.
Gennett's a guy that really throws from that lower arm angle. He just gets underneath it and pushes it. A ball is scolded by Florimon, but he just gets under it and airmails it.
All right, so J.P. Crawford is up. Phillies are 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Corners are pitching in. Got to get it over to third. You're going to bunt it. Oh boy, that ball's in the dirt.
But this is a straight sacrifice. You give yourself up. I got to have JP squaring around earlier. My main objective, just get the ball down. See if you can get it to the third base side. Ideally, like we saw Tucker Barnhart do earlier. But give yourself up. If you do it too late, you're going to end up stabbing at the baseball.
1 ball and no strikes. That error by Jeanette, by the way, is his second one of the season. Each team now has made an error in this game. And he bunts it toward third. That's a beautiful bunt.
Well done.
So the Phils have the go-ahead run, the winning run over at third with 1 out. That is a fantastic bunt. And here comes Brian Price. All right, so he's going to bring the infield in.
Or bring
Billy Hamilton in as well.
Yeah.
Billy Hamilton, where do you think he's going to go? He's going to go get his infielder's glove. That's one thing.
He's going to go up the middle, like behind or in front of second base, I think.
It's very entertaining that he's getting an infielder's glove. Playing the infield is not new to Billy Hamilton. He came up as an infielder.
For the guy that really stays in the center of the field, I'm thinking I just walk the bases loaded here. You know, because of Cesar's ability to stay in the middle of the field. You're going to have the guy in right center field gap, guy in the left center field gap.
Yeah, I like it. All right, so Billy Hamilton is going to be to the right of second base, and it looks like Jeanette's going to be up the middle. Nope, now they're going to shift it around. They don't really know what they're doing.
I would put Billy Hamilton up the middle.
I would too.
Because if he has to make the longer throw, we know what kind of arm he has.
Right. All right, so they intentionally walk Cesar Hernandez, and for the second time tonight's game, Scott Kingery can win it for the Phillies. So 4 infielders. There's no center fielder. And the infielders are in. I should say 5 infielders. And the infielders in on the grass. 3 on the right side, 2 on the left side. Floromona's good speed off third. The only reason Cesar matters is because to break up a double play. The first pitch coming to Kingery. In the dirt, smothered by Barnhart. Got to be on your toes if you're catching right now.
He has had some very good blocks this series.
One ball and no strikes. Hamilton now goes to the left side of the infield. In the dirt again, 2-0. Do you think the tact is to try to get him to go efficient after a bad pitch, or is he just wild?
Just keep it lower than lowered. Hopefully swings that and keeps the ball on the ground.
It's not the worst thing in the world for the Reds if they load the bases, because then they have a force anywhere. I'm a little surprised they're just not doing that anyway. 2-0. Phil's trying to walk it off here in the bottom of the 12th inning, tied up at 3. Again, the Reds have put 5 infielders. They've pulled Hamilton from center, and the corner outfielders keep pinching toward the gap a little bit more. Two balls and no strikes. 3-0. I would just put him on.
Why wouldn't you?
There must be some reason that they decided not to.
I think he's got the green light here.
Think so?
I do.
We'll see. Here we go. 3 balls and no strikes with 1 out here in the bottom of the 12th inning. Kingery just went, you could see him go, oof.
If he did have the green light, I'm glad he didn't go after that one. It'd be a tough ball to get in the air.
Although he did his first home run with a ball that was down.
True.
3-1. Infielders creep in a little bit more. And the pitch. In the air to right field. Going back on it is Irvin. He'll get under it. It's not going to matter. Floremont's coming home. And Scott Kingery has walked it off here in the bottom of the 12th inning with a sacrifice fly, and the Phils win it 4-3. He keeps checking off one major league milestone after another.
Professional hitting right there, Tom. Gets the ball up just enough where he can get it to the outfield. Ball game.
A 4-3 final score. Kingery on this homestand has picked up his first home run, his first grand slam, and his first walk-off. And it's the first walk-off of the season for the Phils. Well, it took nearly 4 hours, but the Phils have swept out the Cincinnati Reds, and this is a crisp homestand. 5-1 on the homestand, and Kingery is our Chevrolet player of the game. Well, they are certainly celebrating out in Arizona. As Ben said, a professional at-bat.
Like I said, that's a sinker that's supposed to be down, ends up being elevated a bit. He stays inside it enough, gets it deep enough to Irvin in right field. Florimone scores easily. What a good job of hitting right there. Staying within yourself, trying to stay in the middle of the diamond, gets the job done.
But he has to get out of the way of Michael Franco, who looked like he was karate chopping him in the first base coach's box. 4-3 the final score. Phillies win it in 12. Scott Kingery's down on the field with Greg Murphy.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Well, when you walk it off in the bigs, it can get a little dangerous down there at first base. Those guys are coming after you, but that had to be a pretty good feeling, I'm sure.
Yeah, you know, we're all just fighting to get ourselves on base in a game like this, try to get ourselves in score position and, you know, let the next man come up and drive him in. So, you know, it's a team effort tonight.
You know, Ben just said everybody doing their job. You had a job to do right there. You're able to get it done. JP before you, able to get his job done. That's how you win ball games.
Thanks.
100%. You know, we had Santana get on base there. Florimone get on base there. You know, busted it down the line, rushed the throw, threw it away, and then we got JP coming in behind him, putting the bunt down. You know, they walk Caesar, and you know, then my job's to get the ball in the air, and you know, they had the 5-man infield right there, and I was just trying to get the ball in the air and you know, drive him in.
You know, you guys get a chance to come back to Citizens Bank Park. Your first time playing here at Citizens Bank Park with this homestand, so successful. 5 wins out of 6 games. You know, if you're going to make some moves in this division, you got to play well at home. You guys were able to do that.
Yeah, I think it was nice for us to come back home. You know, we started hitting the ball, pitching was great. All homestand, and you know, like I said, we were just feeding off each other all homestand long, and one guy after another was stepping up big, and today it was a couple of us. So that's, you know, it's a great team effort.
That's the way to do it. We'll go enjoy it with your teammates, and we'll enjoy your day off as well. We'll see you on Friday, guys. Send it back upstairs.
All right, Murph. The Phillies win it in 12 innings on Scott Kingery's walk-off sacrifice fly that scores Pedro Florimone. It's a nice way to wrap up a homestand. Phillies won 5 of the 6.